Another Truvia packet story. Today is one of a kind, just like you. That's so cool. Truvia, I think you really knocked it out of the park with these. Today is one of a kind, just like you. And then my sarcastic brain says, unless you're an identical twin. But there are people out there who look just like you. I mean, maybe not like side by side, but my two oldest daughters, there are people who knew one of them and would see a picture of the other one and think they were looking at a picture of the one they knew. And in one picture, both my daughters were together, and people who knew my oldest daughter looked at her younger sister and said, "Why are you wearing that?" or whatever it was. And she laughed and said, "That's not me, I'm over here." And they're like, "Oh, I thought that was you." Now, these girls are not twins. So there are, people who look alike. And when I worked retail, I used to offer people a receipt. And I guess I watched too much murder TV or something. But I would say, "Do you want a receipt?" And they would say, "No." And I would say, "Well, what if someone who looks just like you is committing a crime across town right now and you need an alibi? This receipt will provide you an alibi." And I would say better than half the people took the receipt. It only took about 3 seconds to think about it. They either didn't want to let me down, or they thought, you know what? There might be someone across town right now doing something wrong. I don't want to get blamed for it. I grew up in a small city in California. And Oprah Winfrey, I think she called it the best place to live, the best, I don't know, something, whatever she said. She thought it was just a fabulous little city, and it was, I guess. But there was a woman in town who looked a lot like my mom from a distance. She was short. She had red hair, very short red hair, like buzz cut kind of red hair, just like my mom. And she drove an orange Opel Kadett with black racing stripes. So did my mom. This woman ran through stop signs all over town. And people would go up to my mom and say, "Hey, you didn't wave at me. I waved, but you ran that stop sign right in front of me." Or just maybe, "Hey, I waved at you the other day and you didn't wave back." And mom would say, "Well, where was it?" And the person would say, "Well, it was at such and such location." Mom would say, "I wasn't there. I haven't been there in however long." This woman drove a car that looked just like my mom's. The woman looked just like my mom, and nobody knew who she was. I saw her one day. I was about a block and a half down the street, and I saw her drive right past my mom's best friend's house, heading toward our house. And when I got home, Mom wasn't home. And of course it was, back in the 70s. It was way before cell phones and way before the internet. But I would have asked my mom when she came home later that day, "Hey, what were you doing driving past Barbara's house at, 3:45 or whatever?" And I don't remember the exact conversation, but she was at work. She was at work several blocks away at the hospital doing her job. And this woman was driving around our neighborhood in a car that looked just like my mom's car. And the woman looked just like my mom. So today is one of a kind, just like you. But do you have a doppelganger out there that could be getting you into trouble? Tell you what, keep your receipts, especially if you pay cash. Have a good day.